Hello, you guys. How are you doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is the right place to be, and you are on the right track. Those who have subscribed, continue sharing and liking my videos. You can also leave us a comment and tell me what you feel like I should be talking about. And today I'm talking about a very interesting topic, by the way, both for people who are living abroad and some who are living back home, but they're in the cities. And these are just few of the takeaways that I've learned here in the United States. And now let's just get started. And before that, just hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think about these videos. And so, by the way, one of the takeaways I've learned about this country, that is the United States, and is that it's more organized, especially in terms of work. For example, if you're looking for a job, you don't need necessarily to know someone for you to be hired in a company. So you just have to have some qualifications and you'll be hired. I understand that in most cases, you should be knowing someone in a certain company for you to be hired in that company. But for this country, one thing I learned is that if you qualify and if you applied for the job, you will get it. And also, jobs are available for almost everyone. Can you imagine someone just walks out of high school and they can still be employed as maybe shop attendants, or you have someone working as a hotel attendant or restaurant attendant and they only have high school diploma. For me, that's an achievement, because at home you'll find a graduate doing that, and in particular they will not have qualified even for that job because they haven't studied for it, but due to lack of jobs you will find them doing that just for them to have something small for them. And I think if these are some of the things that the government will be emulating, like for example, someone is earning and they're just from high school, I think we will build a culture and a generation that is independent than what we have today. And also it's organized in terms of movement. Can you imagine it just like they have timings for the bus? I remember in my home there's no timing for the bus. You go to the stage, you board any, you can bargain and all that. So for them, they just have everything. The price is constant, everything is constant. There are timings, like for example, they just say the bus will be there in 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes the bus will be there. It's not like it will take 30 minutes or so. So it's something that I feel like it's good for the country. Of course, for them, they're well established and all that. And the infrastructure, oh my goodness, these people feel so good. Especially, I love the way they take care of the parks and the walkways, and everywhere it is, how do you call it? They've done what we call landscaping, and it looks so beautiful. Even in the parks, you find people are so organized. Even in the parks, people are organized. No one is. And something that shocked me is that you can leave your phone and everything unattended to, and chances are high that you will find them there. No one will pick them. But I understand there are some few cases of theft and here and there, but very rare, very rare. You attend a party, you leave with everything you went with to the party, including your phone, which is very rare. In some places where some of us come from, you attend a party and you go back without a phone, or you go back without your chain, you go back. But that's how we survive, And so, and there is a lot of culture shock. So the culture of this country is very different. So you'll find someone, like for example, at home, or you're used to talking to people, visiting your neighbors. This country, you can stay or live for 2 weeks without even seeing your neighbor. Even not just 2 weeks, but you can live for the rest of your life in an apartment without knowing even the name of your neighbor. especially if you are very busy, you're working and all that. So it's one thing that I found very interesting, that people don't just interact with people freely like that. You can just say hi on the corridors and all that, but it all ends there, maybe when you meet somewhere. And also when you go to the maybe you are being attended to. So one thing again I learned is that you cannot just walk into a salon. You have to call, unless they write their website is ready and walk-in and all that, then you can walk in. But if it's not written, you have to book an appointment, and an appointment can push even for 2 weeks. So it's something you have to plan to be attended to. So it's very organized in terms of how they do their things and how they work about it. And in most cases, by the way, they are very successful. So if you book an appointment at 9:30, when you leave your place at 9 and get there at 9:30, you'll be attended to. So one thing I've always learned also is about, I remember when I was at home, I had a lot of expectations too when I hear someone has gone abroad, or even has gone to the US. But anyone who left the country, even for a neighboring country, you could say, those ones have money. You see, they can even afford to leave the country and go work in a foreign land. I'm telling you, it's the biggest scam. It's a scam. So let me tell you what happens is that the expectations that people have, when they're in America, they have a lot of money, they should be sending us money, is a scam. It's a very big scam. So these people really work so hard. Others are doing 2 jobs, and also working, rather doing those 2 jobs also depends with your papers. So those who feel that when you travel to the US, you'll just be, or maybe in a foreign land or any other country, you'll be in a position to work and do anything, it's a lie. So one thing I learned is that, and if you go online or the website, you'll find it. So your visa determines what you can do in a country. And I think this also applies even in our countries and everywhere else. But now the notion that people have got of, especially these US, is that when you are there is a lot of money. Others have got this notion that you can even work for a week, you can earn more than 1 million Kenya shillings, or even $10,000. That is a scam. It doesn't happen like that. So these people work so hard, and the bills are too expensive. Everything is very expensive in this country, and they have to pay for this. So if you have someone from the US or any other country working abroad sends you money, please appreciate. I see some people saying that she's in the US and she just sent 1,000 Kenya shillings, so maybe those are just $10. So what's $10? That's like 10 shillings in the US. She should be sending a lot of money, or he should be sending a lot of money. Please appreciate that money, because these people work so hard. People over here work so hard. Others are doing many jobs if you have the right papers. Others are just doing one job. So it's even more strenuous. So if someone sends you something, just learn how to appreciate and stop saying that if they are somewhere else, they should be sending. And by the way, there are some people who live in, let me just say Kenya, at least that's what I know, and they're doing so well than people who live abroad. So don't make people feel so guilty. There are people who are borrowing just to impress you, because our culture has really made it very difficult for people, because you cannot deny someone something you don't have. They say that, so you went to the US and you don't want to give us money, and we had that. There's this notion that we had that there is money. So please, if someone sends you something here, be it $5 or $10, just appreciate. They're in the US, but they're not there. There's no tree where they pluck money to send it to you. So you'll find someone really terrorizing a student. Those people are students, they don't have much. If anything, they only have 20 hours a week to work. So if they work, they're just working to sustain themselves, buy for themselves clothes, and maybe taking care of their siblings. So if you have a friend who traveled here, or maybe is a relative, a distant relative, just don't push them that hard. Don't push them that hard. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Just share, like, leave a comment, and tell me something else that you'd like me to talk about, especially live from here in the US. Tell me what you want to know about the US and many other things. Something else I also learned is that I think this is a bit funny because okay, it's just an expectation. I like that people from home don't call their relatives in the US, so they just expect them to call, even despite someone having free Wi-Fi or something. I understand also for time difference, but most of the time when you're sleeping, everyone in the US is awake, and the day is almost ending. It's getting to evening, so just call these people, call them. Know how they are doing. Not every time you're calling, you need money. When you know, let me tell you one thing about money and borrowing. It's not bad to borrow. You should borrow, and it's always good to help too. So when you are only calling someone to ask help from them, they get used to that. So sometimes you're just calling to say hi or to give them a certain information. They'll not attend to you, because they just know that when you call, you only ask for money. So they'll start assuming you something, or maybe even not reading your messages, because you've become like you are like a burden to them, because you only call when you need money. So call these people, call them, know how they are doing. Call us, just call us on WhatsApp or even on your phone numbers. You have our numbers, but you only call us when you want to add us in groups, and when you need something. That is not fair, imagine. And when we form groups, we want to add you. You say that people who are in the US should not be forming groups or fundraising. That is bad manners. All of us need each other, and that notion has to end. So just know that the things you think that happen here, it is not actually what really happens. Ground ni mbaya. The ground is really reading something else. And then there are actually a lot of good things about this country, and other things that maybe might not be good, or maybe you feel that might be bad. I think the lifestyle, especially if you're coming from Africa, if you're coming from Africa, where we are used to an affordable lifestyle, the lifestyle in this country is very expensive. Very expensive. And if you're a foreigner, you also want to live in a safe place, and you want to be safe, and it's quite expensive for people. So I noticed that most of the bills are expensive, be it hospital, be it schools, especially for the undergraduate, because the colleges, that is, because education for primary and high school in America is free. So when it comes to colleges and schools, it's a bit very expensive. So but you can afford, you can go to maybe colleges, and you can still attain what you want. But I felt like it's very expensive. I just realized that the money you pay for a 4-year course in Kenya, actually here it's just a 1 semester. You can only pay for 1 semester. And it's not actually enough, because that will be one course that has got 3 credits. It's like now a unit, 3 units, you can pay like maybe $4,000. That is around 400,000 Kenya shillings. So that is quite expensive, and that when you're paying for a 4-year course in some universities in Kenya, you can be done by 4, especially if you're a government or even a self-sponsored student. There are some schools that are not expensive, and with 400 you are done with your 4-year course. So I found that a little bit very expensive. Health is expensive, but you have to survive because you're working for it. Yeah. So something else I also found interesting is that everywhere in the US, like in any state you are in the US, there is something you cannot, like, let's say if you are in a very small town, like say if you are in Machakos, you will miss Nairobi, because Nairobi has got a lot of options, and it has got a variety of hospitals, schools, and universities and all that. For the US, if you are in Wisconsin, you cannot miss New York, or maybe you will just miss the commotion and the people and a lot of job opportunities. But there are opportunities in every state. Like you cannot miss. So if there's a certain hospital in the state, it's in every state and town. Actually, it's in cities, the small towns. Everything is there. If it's it's a certain supermarket in a certain state and in a certain city, it's in the same city doing the same things and doing there is everything everywhere. You cannot miss. So there's no you have to travel to another state to find a job, or you have to travel unless it's optional. So that's what you just choose from. But wherever you are, you will always find something. That's so interesting, and that's one thing I loved about this country, is that they provide employment, they provide job opportunities for their people. And one thing I also learned that is that when someone is launching something, like maybe let's say a certain company wants to open a branch in across the country, their governors are bidding for it. The governors are like, come and open in my place. Come. You see, like they are calling for job opportunities for their people. Wow, something that has never happened for some of us. We just see it in the news, but one day we shall overcome. So it's so interesting that the things we take for granted is what other people are taking very serious. And actually in this country, one thing I also realized is that if you have the right papers, like you just walk into an office or maybe a store or somewhere and you ask if there is a job opportunity, and they're like, oh yeah, we are hiring, take this, go and read about this, you can go online and apply for this. Like there are always job opportunities. There are always job opportunities for these people. Oh yes, we are hiring, come take this one. Like and that is I feel like it's like someone who is attending to you is giving you an opportunity. There's some places you get in, you ask them if they have a job opportunity, and they're like, no, we don't have. The CEO is hiring someone of their own. But here it's not like that. So you get into the shop and or maybe a restaurant and say, hey, do you have a job opportunity here? Oh yes, we have one, and here are the application forms, you can go fill and bring it back. Oh wow. And they just hire you without knowing you, provided you just provide your credentials and you qualify, and that is it. You don't need you don't need to know someone. God has already certified you in this country, so you just walk in and you get the job. So that's one of the things that I really felt like it's an achievement. At least for them, it's an achievement. So if you have no more struggles by the bills, you get paid by the bills. But it's better you get paid when the bills are there than having bills and you don't have any job. Okay. And also one thing I realized is that the outside there are a lot of notions before you get to be somewhere. So you'll find someone telling you, oh, you have to study this course for you to survive in a certain country. You have to do this course for you. I realized that it's never that serious. You can actually just do the course you've studied, what you love, and you will still prosper in it. You don't need to start running up and down because someone has told you that this course has got a lot of money. This course. Sometimes people just work because they love what they do. It's not all about money. If you love what you do and that's what your passion is, I think you can even make more money in that than doing something else. So don't just be having that notion that anyone telling you they are going abroad, now you are all over in their email, or rather in their inboxes, telling them, oh, you have to study this, you have to study medicine, you have to study this for you to get an opportunity. Those countries are not hiring someone who has, no, you've not been to this country, or you have been, or you've just had stories. Just let those stories be. Don't tell people what you haven't had. Everyone has got an opportunity. I understand there are those courses that are hot cake, and if they are hot cake all over, but there's always opportunity for everyone. So don't go around telling people you have to study this, you have to study this for you to be like this, you have to do this. There is opportunity for everyone. Like I've just told you that you work somewhere in a company, in a store, and they tell you they are hiring, and they'll hire you. People have been hired. People, you see, like in this country, it's not all about who knows you. It's all about, are your papers fit for you to be hired? Are you here legally? If yes, then you're okay to be hired. Do you qualify? And that's all that is needed. Any other things and shenanigans that people go around saying you have to do this, you have to do this course, you have to marry this one, you have to do this. Those are just a lot of stories, and mostly propagated by people, and maybe other people who've just read online and have not been to a certain place. Just do what you love, do that course that you wish to have. If opportunity comes for you to go to a certain country, go and have fun about it. So what do you say about that? So those are some of the lessons I learned about America, and I think they are so interesting, especially the job part, and the job opportunities are too many and too much. I was reading some article, and the schools were complaining that they do not have school drivers. School drivers, school bus drivers. Schools, the hotels are now hiring and no one is applying. People have already jobs, and the companies do not have enough people to hire, and people just come from COVID. Oh wow, that must be a very interesting part of this country's side of the story. So which stories have you heard about America that you think we should address, or any other abroad country? I'll reach out to those people. Maybe you've had a story that for you to go to America, you need to be a nurse, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a teacher, you need to go do this. I think this country, anyone can just come, provided you have been given the visa to come and you have the right papers, and you will just survive. Right papers is very key for you to survive in this country, or even in any other foreign land. You cannot just live anywhere when you don't have the right papers. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, leave a comment, and let's know what you think about this video. Goodbye.